Hey everyone's JackelWolf back at MC Eternal with another 5 minutes. That's how I did it. Now, if you've been following along, you know that we are working our way through the quest book. Last episode, we were over on the farming and agricultural page. We were doing the clippers, the crop sticks, the gardening trowel, the seed analyzers, the magnifying glass, and the wooden rake. We also did the watering can while we were at it and the agricultural journal. We did all of that because I needed some aluminum for a future quest, and seems to be the only real early game way of getting aluminum, and that's by growing off of these what are they called now? Jaslumium seeds. It was a little bit of a process to get them, but they work really well. I was able to get all the aluminum I need fairly quickly, especially using that watering can. That worked out really well. This episode, though, I planned on getting back on track, doing the mining is my passion and the ingots. The problem is with the ingots, we run into another problem, and that is steel is very tough to make in MC Eternal. Way tougher than some of the other mod packs that I played. Same thing with the aluminum in the first one. It is not very easy, and there's only really one easy early way game to get it. And it's going to require some power. So that's what we're going to do this episode is we're going to set up our very first RF power system. We've already got the GP power. That was actually from a quest that we got early on. GP power is not going to work though. We need some RF. And that's sort of like your standard Minecraft power with in the mod packs. So we're going to go and jump down to the Introduction to Science page. And we're going to make our Steam Dynamo. Then we're going to do the Redstone Fluxduct. We're going to do the aqueous accumulator, since it's there, the item duct, the servo, and the hardened servo. We're going to focus on these guys here, getting some power up. There's one other machine that we're going to have to make as well to get some of those. But to make the Steam Dynamo, we are first going to have to make ourselves a copper gear. That is just 4 copper ingots in a crafting table in a, circular pattern. We're also going to need a redstone transmission coil. This is simply 2 pieces of redstone and a silver ingot just in a cross pattern there. And then we're going to take these 2 items. We're going to put the redstone thermal transition coil and the copper gear, and in the reverse order, with 2 iron ingots, 2 copper ingots, and a piece of redstone. That gets us our Steam Dynamo. Now, this is probably the most simple of the power systems in MC Eternal. It's the one with the quest, so that's the one that we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and place it right down here. We can open it up. We've got an input here for a solid fuel, so I've got a little bit of coal just sitting over there. We're gonna go throw that in here, and because it makes steam, it's gonna burn this coal. It's gonna need some water to turn into steam to generate power. So we can take just a bucket of water and we can manually throw that in there, and there you go. We are now generating a little bit of power, fairly quickly. It's not too bad for what we're gonna be using it for. It is more than sufficient right now. But that is the quest there. So we're gonna click on that. There's our monies. Here's our loot reward. Luminous magenta stained blocks. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Now, by luminous, does it mean it sets off light? It did look like it changed the lighting over there. That is kind of cool. But we're going to go harvest that up. So that is kind of a nifty little reward there. I'll have to figure out something to build those into. But next up, what we're going to have to do, I can manually keep filling this with water, but we don't want that. Modded Minecraft for me is a lot about the automation. So to automate the water, we can build ourselves something called a aqueous accumulator. That is going to require a redstone servo, which is 2 pieces of redstone and an iron ingot. We are also going to need a device frame that is 4 tin ingots, 4 pieces of glass blocks, and a copper gear. That gets us our device frame. And then we're also going to need some iron gears. Now, iron gears are very similar to the copper gear we made earlier. Just 4 iron ingots in a circular pattern. Just 4 iron ingots in a circular pattern in a crafting station there. So we're going to go take that out. And if we take 2 of the iron gears, 2 pieces of glass, a bucket, the device frame, and the redstone servo. That gets us our aqueous accumulator. So basically what this means, aqueous accumulator is that it, sucks up water. So we're going to go and we're going to take it down here. Originally, I kind of planned to work it into my GP water mill grid here, but the pattern didn't really work out very well, and I kind of messed up my GP a bit. So I'm just going to bump it off here to the side. If we open it up, you can see it can collect water here. That's really the only thing it does. It does not really require a redstone power, which is nice, but to make it work, we're going to need at least 2 source blocks of water touching this aqueous accumulator. So I've got 2 spots right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 buckets of water. We're going to put one on one side, one on the other. We open it up, and actually I just pulled a bucket of water out of there, but you see it automatically fills itself up with water. If I did a 3rd bucket here, it would be a little bit quicker, and if I did a 4th bucket, it would be a little bit quicker as well. But for our purposes right now, this should be more than enough. To get the water from here into our dynamo, though, we're going to need to make ourselves some fluid ducts. So it's not part of these quests here. No, here's our reward. Let's go do that really quickly. So there's our monies, and a slingshot. I actually really, really like these. Unless this is not... No, it's not the slime shot where you can kind of shoot yourself. This one must use actual bullets or something like that. We'll have to figure out that one as well. That is kind of interesting. But to move the water, we're going to need some fluid ducts. And as I was saying earlier, it is not part of the quests up here, but we're going to need them. So to make some fluid ducts, it is simply 2 copper ingots and a piece of glass. That gets us 6, which is more than enough for what we need to do right here. But we're going to come right out of the top because the sides are what connects to the water. It makes the most sense to leave that open. But we're going to come out of the top of the block, and then we're just going to come right across there. You can see that pipe automatically fills up, and if we open that up, this is now full of water really, really quick. So that is going to help us quite a bit. So our water is taken care of. Next up is going to be the item ducts. So this is the... first off, though, we're going to make the leadstone flux duct. That's just to get us access to this item duct quest. We won't need these pipes until we actually hook this up to a machine, but it is next in order. So to make the leadstone flux duct, it is 6 pieces of redstone, 2 pieces of lead, and a piece of glass. That gets our leadstone flux duct and the quest. We'll look at those ones in a second, though. But if we open up our quest book, we go collect those 50 monies. Next up is the item duct. Now, this one is a little bit frustrating. Most of these quests, that leadstone was really, really easy to make. This item duct requires hardened glass or it requires fused quartz, and that is a little bit more complicated than all the other recipes, early recipes. I wonder if it might even be a mistake if they meant to pick the regular item duct, which was the opaque one, which is only 2 tin and 1 piece of lead. This is super, super simple, but you see, I took it out. I did not get that quest. This is not the item duct. They want to use the fused quartz or the hardened glass one, which is a little bit more difficult to make. Hardened glass requires fused quartz, so that's what we're going to work on first. To make fused quartz, we are going to need a alloy smelter. To make the alloy smelter, we're going to need a piece of grains of infinity. Now, grains of infinity are a really, really interesting item, and we're going to take a little bit of field trip to go and get one. So first off, we're going to need a flint and steel, which is super, super simple to make, just the flint and a piece of iron. And then I'm going to head down to my world till we get down to bedrock. So give me a second and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we are at the bottom of my world. I am down to bedrock right here. This is one of the mining shafts I built a little bit earlier on. To get the grains of infinity, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this flint and steel, and we're going to light some bedrock on fire, and then we just got to wait. And if we are lucky, it is I want to say it's like a 1 in 4, maybe like a 25% chance or something like that. When the fire goes out, we should be left with some grains of infinity. So let's cross our fingers and hopefully we are good here. There we go. That was the sound we were waiting for, that little pop right there. That is good. And let's see if we get any extra ones here. I don't need it. I only need 1, but it'll be handy to have a second one as a backup. No, didn't get it. All right, so back up to the top and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so we are back. I've got those grains of infinity. Now to make the alloy smelter, we're going to need to put those grains of infinity in a crafting table with 4 iron ingots and 4 iron bars. That gets us a simple machine chassis. We're going to pick that up and then we're going to take this over here. I'm getting advancements that I haven't unlocked yet. So, I mean, these will come up, sometime in the future again. But we're also going to need some stone gears. To make stone gears, it is simply 4 cobblestone and 4 sticks. That gets us a stone gear. We're going to take 2 of those stone gears, a empty bucket, the simple machine chassis, 2 furnaces, and 3 iron ingots. That's going to get us our simple alloy smelter. And we're going to go and take this. Why don't we go place this alloys and enemies? That's another advancement that we'll have to figure out where it's unlocked. I don't think I've got access to it quite yet. But if we open this up, we can see that we're going to need a little bit of power, which is perfect because we've got some Fluxstone. Now, if I pop this out of the side, it doesn't transmit the power. This is not how the power goes. What we need to do is we need to come out of the top of our dynamo. So we're going to go plop it there, and then we'll just come into the top right here to keep it nice and smooth. There we go. We are now powered up to full. And to make the fused quartz, we're going to need some nether quartz. And then we're going to go and pop this up in here. And a very, very slow progression is going to happen. Now, a couple of episodes ago, I made this time in a bottle. We are at 7 hours, 30 minutes of stored time since I made it. Basically, and I've been waiting for an opportunity to show you guys how to use this. So we are at 30% there. I'm going to go click it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the most I can put on there. I used 15 minutes of time. If we open this up, this is speeding up quite a bit. Now, because it's the fused quartz, it is still fairly slow, but it is not that bad. So there we go. There is our fused quartz, which is absolutely perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this fused quartz into that proper item duct. We're going to come over to our crafting table and put it in a crafting table with 2 pieces of tin ingot. That gets us our item duct. We'll take that out and there you go. Quest complete, 6 item duct, which is absolutely perfect. So we're going to go click on that one. There are our 2 monies. That is perfect. That's exactly what we need. Now, to use the item duct, basically what we want to do is have a storage somewhere and a place that we want to move that storage. We kind of did this a little bit early on when we were doing the automating the player store. That was an actual quest where it gave us these items. This is us actually making them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and set up a connection right there. As you see, nothing is happening. We need something to forcibly move the items from the chest into the dynamo there. So what's that's going to be? It's going to be a servo. Now, to make a servo, it is simply a piece of glass, a piece of redstone, 2 iron nuggets, 2 iron ingots. That gets us a servo. Now, to do the quest, we're going to need 6 of those. So I had 5 prepped already. There is our quest there. Click on that, and that is all good to go. While we're at it, there's another quest up here to make hardened servos. To make a hardened servo, it is simply a regular servo in a crafting table with a invar ingot. Invar is an alloy of iron and I want to say like nickel or something like that. It's not too difficult to make. I've made a bunch already, but that's going to get us our hardened servo. The quest is for 3 of them, so we might as well grab 3. The difference between the hardened and the regular servo is the speed that it will pull out and the number of items it will pull out at the same time. So the regular servo will pull out 8 items every 3 seconds. The hardened servo will pull out 16 items every 2 seconds. So just a little bit quicker of a transfer rate, which is good. So I'm going to use the hardened one because, I mean, why not? We've got it built. All I got to do is select the side that I want to pull items out of. So I want to pull them out of the chest. We're going to go right click on that. Nothing is happening quite yet. So we've got to go and interact with this hardened servo. So we're going to open it up. I'm going to leave it on a blacklist because there's nothing else in this chest. But if I had multiple items in there and I wanted to specify which one was going to be pulled, I would switch this over to a whitelist. But and then use metadata for coal. It's not going to make a difference. But if you were sorting like tools and stuff like that, that would be something you'd be concerned about. The other thing we got to do is we've got to go and power this up. So I'm just ignoring the redstone signal, and there you go. There are our coal going in. We should watch that go up by, I think it was 16s there. But that is perfect. That is exactly what we want. So now this dynamo is running 100%. Now it's pulled a little bit of energy out because it's made that there, and it's just, you know, sort of filling itself back up. So this is now fully automated, other than the fact I am going to have to keep, you know, the solid fuel somewhere there. But for our first power system, this is going to be, you know, work really, really well. And that's going to allow us to get that steel that we're going to need to make next episode. So let me know in the comments below if you guys did any of that any differently than I did. I would love to hear all the different ways of going through those quests, especially with that item duct. I can't figure out an easier way of making them other than like that fused quartz, which to me might be a little bit of a mistake, but you know, it is what it is. You know, we did it, we got it done. That's absolutely perfect. But if you enjoyed this video, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JackelWolf. Also, check out the description below. There will be a link to my Discord page. I would love it if you guys stop by to say hi. As well, there will be a link to my Patreon page. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this content and you want to support, stop by, check it out. There are a lot of great perks out there for all of my supporters, one of which is the potential for a Patreon-only server. Right now, I think we are about one tier 2 or above Patreon away from us setting up that one. So if you're interested in something like that, stop by, check it out. I would love to hear from all you guys out there. But that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.